Hey guys, Brett here, and I want to ask you a question. When you go to a squeeze page, how excited do you get, and how anxious are you to opt in to get the free gift that's being offered? Well, if you're like most people, you probably hardly ever get excited when you end up on a squeeze page. You're probably hardly ever feeling a burning desire to sign up so you can get the free offer being given. The simple fact is, squeeze pages have been done over and over and over again. They're tried and true, but they're also getting old. When people get to a squeeze page, they know that they're being marketed to. They know that they're signing up for a marketer's list. Also, quite frankly, squeeze pages aren't fun. They're not exciting. There's no urgency. There's nothing to entice people to really want to put in that email address. Even worse, when you give something away for free, it has a low perceived value. I mean, people just automatically assume that it's not a high value thing because you're giving it away for free. I want to show you an exciting new way to build an email list that's going to get people to actually want to opt in. Spinbiz Games is a collection of 6 viral casino style apps. It includes things like Slot Machine, it includes Prize Wheel, Plinko, and several other games. By using these games and giving people a prize when they win for playing the game, you create a sense of value in the product. You also create a sense of excitement because people want to play the game. And of course, they have to enter their email address in order to play. You know, the best way to explain the Spinbiz games is probably going to be to show them to you. And that's why, if you look below here, there is a full demo of all of the games available where you can play live and see how they work. But before you check that out, let me show you how easy it is to set up a game with Spinbiz. So I've already logged into my account. I'm on my dashboard and I clicked the Plinko link right here. Now, basically setting up all the games is the same no matter which type of game you're going to use. So I'm just going to show you with the Plinko game real quick. In order to get started, the first thing I need to do is click on the Create New button. So I will click that, and a pop-up will now show asking me to enter a game name. Now it's important to remember that this game name is only for my reference. So that way I can remember what type of promo I'm using this game for. If I'm using it for a client or something like that, I would probably put a little note in here about which client it's for. So I'm just going to call this Brett's Test. I'll click on Create Plinko Game. And there you go, you can see it has created my game for me. So the first thing I want to do now is edit it. Now there's a couple of options when I'm editing the game. You can see on the left hand side is the prizes. There are 5 prizes available in each game, and each prize will have a name and an inventory. Now the name could be anything you want. Obviously it's going to be the name of the prize. The inventory is going to be how many of those prizes are available. Now the thing to remember is the more of an inventory there is, the more likely that that prize is going to be selected if the player wins. So for example, the #1 prize is usually the grand prize. That will have the lowest number of inventory because I want that one to be less likely for people to win. There are a couple of other settings that you can put in here. Each game has 2 customizable sections. On the right here, you can actually see the first one, which is a graphic where I can upload any graphic that I want. So I'll just pick my blog logo and I'll upload it quick. And you can see now my own custom graphic is showing on the game itself. And this is great so that way you can brand the games to your company, or if you're doing it for clients, you can brand the games to your client as well. Now there's also a section on every game where you can enter custom text. And you can enter any text that you want here using the WYSIWYG editor. I'm just going to enter it. But it could be anything that you want to put in there. Once I have all that set up, I can go ahead and click the Enter and Save button, and my game settings will be saved. Now the last thing I want to show you in this particular section is you can actually see the game is showing here, And the games are playable in this, so that way you can test it out and see how it works. So I can actually go ahead and click the drop puck button and play the game. Okay, so now that I have my general settings set up, I'm going to go ahead back to the main dashboard and I'm going to set up my other settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the settings button now. And it's going to ask me for a couple of different things. The first thing is going to be for the mobile URL. I can actually type in a name for my game and it will generate a mobile URL for this game. So that way it will work on people's mobile devices as well. So I'm going to call it Brett's Test. Let's call it Brett's Plinko Test. And you can see it has created that mobile URL, which is right here. And it has also created a QR code for me. So that way I can have a QR code if I want to put it maybe on a print advertisement for a client, a flyer, something like that. This would be a great thing for car dealerships. So that way we can put the QR code on there and people can play very easily. Okay, the second thing it's going to ask is the odds of winning. Now, remember back when we were doing the settings where I said the more inventory there is on a particular prize, the more likely that one is going to be selected. Well, that is true, but the odds of winning is the odds that they're going to win anything. So if I set that at 50%, the odds are going to be 50% that they win any prize, and then it will use the inventory to determine exactly what prize they're going to win. And this could be anything from 0 to a 100%. If it's 100%, they will always win. If it's 0, they will never win. The next thing it's going to ask me is entry frequency. Now this is how many times is the same person allowed to play the game. So I can select from a couple of options. I could say unlimited, which is the default. I could say once per email, once per IP address, or even once per day if I want to limit people. It's going to ask me if the game is opened or closed. Now, the default is open, meaning anybody who's going to go to your game, enter their email address, they can play. Closed is going to be where only people that have a particular code that you're using can play the game. Good if you're just doing a promo maybe for your own list or for a specific group of people. You only want them people to be able to play the game, so you give them a code where only they can play. If I select to limit to the people that have a play code, I can enter the code in here, which is required for people to play. Now it's going to ask you if you want people to enter their phone number or their email address in order to be able to play the game. This is great, again, for offline. Maybe a car dealership or local business might be interested in a phone number or a fax number or a cell phone number to do text advertising. Or you can go with the default if you're being an online business and select email address, so that way people have to enter their email address. Again, the default is going to be email. When a person enters and plays a game with Spinbiz, they're going to be sent an email whether they win or lose. Now you can enter your email settings. You can say where you want the email to come from, the subject of the email, and then using this WYSIWYG editor and each of the buttons for the options of prizes 1 through 5, as well as the no-win message, you can determine the exact text of the email that gets sent to them. This is also the text that will show on screen after they win or if they don't win. Normally what you would put in here is something like, congratulations, you won the grand prize, click the link below to claim your prize, or some other type of instructions on how they're going to get their prize. You would do that for each of the prize levels, and of course have another message if they don't win. You have the option to show branding or not. Now this is where you can show your company branding underneath the game itself. Now this is important for people who are doing this for clients. Maybe they want to also brand the game to their company as well, so they can put this branding underneath. Now a lot of people would use this type of thing as an upsell as well to their clients. For example, you can say to your client, you'll create a game for them at XYZ price, and it will have your branding underneath the game. However, for an additional fee, you can remove the branding. The next thing you can enter is your sponsor information. Now, the sponsor is the person that actually provides the prizes. So if you're a person that's doing this for clients, then the sponsor is your client. And the reason we have this information is for the automatically generated TOS that we create. Finally, you can add any custom game rules or TOS that you want. The very last thing here is your Aweber, MailChimp, or GetResponse settings. If you use any one of these three autoresponders, we can automatically integrate your signups with those autoresponders. Don't worry though, if you don't use one of those autoresponders, you can still download a CSV to upload to any other autoresponder that will allow a list import. So once all these settings are entered, you just create, enter, and save, and you're all done. Now that I have my game created, the final step is going to be to integrate my game somewhere. Now I have a couple of options to do this. The very first option is I can go over to the settings menu again, and I can get my custom QR code or my custom mobile ready URL and use that to link to my game. The other option I have is I can click on the code button and I can get my custom embed code, and I can use that to embed my game on any website or blog that I want. And then the final option is I can click on the Facebook button and I can publish my game to any fan page that I am an admin of. Once my game is running, I can see the number of entries right here, and I can click on that to view the entries and also view the people who have won or have not won my game. Spinbiz Games is going to fully launch next month. However, I wanted to give my list and my customers an opportunity to get a full unlimited lifetime membership without ever paying a monthly fee. Even better, I'm going to give you a price that's lower than anything I'm going to be offering to anybody else. Now, I'm going to be completely honest though, I cannot give this discount membership forever, so it's only going to be available for the next 48 hours. If you still see the counter above, then this discount is still available for my customers. However, if the countdown timer is gone, then I'm sorry, the discount time is over and I will not be able to give any more of these special deals.